welcome back to another morning. I wanted to go over my favorite coffee pieces at home and why they add a lot of value to my life. The first one will be this Hario coffee server. I actually drink a ton of pour over coffee. It used to be my number one go-to, but I always go back and forth between the Hario coffee server and the espresso machine. For this one in particular, I like the size of it. It goes up to 3 cups of coffee. For me, I usually drink around 2 cups and then I usually have it with ice, but I think the size is just perfect. I really like the glass of it, and overall it's just much better than any of the other servers I've had. The second piece will be the Hario dripper. You can see here it kind of chipped a bit, but I've had this for around a good 4 years now, I believe, and it's been my go-to. So typically I get my coffee server and I put the dripper over like this, and then I have the Hario paper filters I put in here with my coffee grounds, and I just get to work. I usually like to make Japanese flash coffee, so it usually means having ice within the server here. But lately I found myself wanting more acidic stuff, so I've been drinking Americanos every morning. I've set up my machine, so after I film this, I get myself an Americano, but I can see myself slowly transitioning back to the pour over as the summer comes slowly and just destroys my AC. My third piece is this Usahari style cup. It's a very thin glassware, and I bought this from IKEA for a set of 4. The reason it's my favorite is because every time I visited Korea or Japan and got myself an Americano or got myself a nice cup of coffee, I always found this very light style glass and I didn't know what it was called. So I had to do a ton of research, and I believe it's closest to Usahari style glass, which is just a very thin glass wall. It feels very minimalist. It feels very good in my hands, and it just looks very nice on the shelf. Not to mention that it takes up a lot less storage space, because with some of the styles I can stack them and put them inside of each other. For the most part, I drink all of my drinks with this glass, even my water and tea. My fourth favorite piece is from Kinto. This one's specifically from the Matcha Tokyo. It's a little dirty right now for some reason. I believe I have to do some spring cleaning. This bottle in particular is one of my favorites. I can carry around my matcha, and it feels like I'm drinking matcha from the Matcha Tokyo. Every time me and Susan go back to Japan, we always stop by the Matcha Tokyo, and it's usually our go-to spot for matcha, mainly because of its convenience, but also every time we stay at a hotel, it's usually right next to our hotel. We usually buy our matcha from a brand called Naoki or Naoki. When we buy our matcha there, we have them stored in the fridge, and when I make them in the morning or when Susan needs to take it to go, I usually put it inside this bottle here. Otherwise, it's inside a different glassware, which I will show next. Last but not least would be this double-walled cup. I couldn't find any particular brands I like in the meantime, so this one is from Amazon. One of my favorite features about double-walled cups is the fact that it keeps the ice cold. It keeps the ice longer for a longer time. It keeps the drinks hot. It won't make my drink taste watered down. I usually make sweet drinks in this cup, so when it comes to like a latte or matcha latte or any ice drinks, I typically put inside this cup because it takes more volume. I believe this one is a 12 ounce or 16 ounce. That kind of wraps it up for my favorite coffee pieces. I know this was short. Every morning is part of my routine. I thought there's a lot of cool cups I want to buy in Japan, a lot of ceramic ones, so I will need to clean out a ton of the stuff I have in my cupboard already. Another runner-up would be the Starbucks Reserve Roastery mug. I like it because of its color. It's super nice, and just having more aesthetic pieces and being more intentional with the drinkware that I have and the stuff that I do every morning. I've had an issue in the past where if something was cheap or something was just good, I'll just buy it and then I end up never using it, and all I see is a floating price tag around it every single time I walk by it and think that's all the money I just wasted. What I will be doing moving forward is be more intentional with my pieces, especially the lineup I have here. I'm going to be drinking my morning coffee with this one, and I'll see you there. So one of my friends told me about this cool trick that you can do with the cheaper espresso machine to get better milk froth, and also for the portafilter, the bottomless portafilter, and how I can make it much better and take more coffee grinds, especially because I'm only working with 14 grams here. So I really appreciate those suggestions, and I really like getting those, because if I can make my coffee experience just this much more better, even with a cheaper machine, it will make a world of difference to me. I'm a little spectator. Cute. I'm still on my weight loss journey. I am making progress, and typically my morning coffee helps me regulate my hunger. So here's an iced cup of water. Just pour the Americano shot over. I know there's a lot of infographics talking about how you should pour the shot in first. For me, it ultimately just tastes the same. But yeah, this is how I start my morning. I'm gonna be making breakfast. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of slow living content, and I'll catch you on the next one.